Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we learn shortest job first CPU scheduling algorithm for non-preemptive and preemptive. Okay, in the previous tutorial, we have learned about first come first served CPU scheduling algorithm, and we are continuing with several algorithms. So first of all, you'll see that there are 5 processes in the system and the corresponding burst time, priority and arrival time. Okay, shortest job first CPU scheduling algorithm works on the smallest burst time of the processes. So first of all, we will consider non-preemptive processes. Okay, so at arrival time 0, we see that process P1 come into the system and no other process will not have come in the system. So we will consider only process P1. Its burst time is 8, so we will assign process P1 0 to 8 time interval. So after time interval 8, we see that all the processes have come into the system because the maximum arrival time is 3, so all processes have now in the system. So now we'll consider the smallest burst time of all the processes. Since process P3 has the smallest burst time, we'll assign process P3 after P1. So 8 plus burst time 1 for process P3, so equal to 9. So after process P3 has done its works, we'll consider process P5. 9 plus its burst time 3 is equal to 12, and then process P2 have the smallest burst time 6. So after process P5, we'll assign process P2. 12 plus 6 is equal to 18, and then process P4 lastly. 18 plus 9 is equal to 27. So in this way, non-preemptive shortest job first scheduling algorithm works. Now we'll turn our attention to preemptive shortest job first scheduling algorithm. In preemptive, we'll see at arrival time 0, process P1 has come into the system, and after time interval 1, we'll see process P4 have come to the system. So since here we see process P1 after time interval 1, process P1 have burst time 7, 8 minus 1, 7, and process P4 have burst time 9. So since process P1 has the smallest burst time, we'll assign process P1 after time interval 1. So 0, 1 and 1 to 2. Okay. Now after time interval 2, we see that two process P2 and process P3 have come into the system since its arrival time is 2. So now we'll consider the 4 processes that exist in the system: P1, P2, P3, P4. Since the burst time of all the 4 processes among them is P3 is smallest 1, so we'll assign process P3 from time interval 2 to 3. After time interval 3, we see the final process P5 has come into the system, so its burst time is 3. So now all the processes have come into the system. So now we'll consider the smallest burst time of all of them. Now we'll see the P1 has burst time of 6, since it is assigned the first 2 time interval. P2 has 6, P3 has 0 because we already have assigned P3 from 2 to 3. P4 has 9 and P5 has 3. So since P1 and P2 have the equal burst time 6 and 6, and since P1 have come into the system earlier than P2, arrival time 0 for P1, so we'll assign P1 first in FCFS order, first come first served. So we'll assign, sorry, I made a mistake. I think process P5 may be assigned first because its burst time is 3. So after process P3 have completed served, process P5 would be served. I made a mistake because process P1 has burst time 6 and process P5 has burst time 3. So first after P3, P5 will be served. So P5 will be served 3 to 6, burst time is 3. After P5, as I have said earlier, P1 and P2 have equal burst time and P1 has arrived before earlier P2, so we'll assign process P1 after P5. 6 to 12, burst time is 6 remaining, so 6 to 12. Now after process P1 has completed, process P2 have the smallest burst time 6, so we'll assign 12 to 8 time interval process P2. Next we have the only one process remaining, process P4, we have the burst time 9, so after process P2 has completed its action, we'll assign process P4 18 to 27. So in this way, preemptive shortest job first scheduling algorithm works. So now we'll turn our attention for the calculation of waiting time. As we have stated earlier, waiting time is the last time a process exists in the system minus burst time and the minus arrival time. So for shortest job first scheduling algorithm for non-preemptive, we'll say process P1 exists in the system until time interval 8. So 8 minus burst time is 8 minus its arrival time is 0. So equal to 0. Now in this manner all the calculation waiting process of the waiting time of remaining process will be calculated. Okay. So for example, process P4, if we consider, it has remained in the system until time interval 27. So 27, its burst time is equal to 9 and then arrival time 1, so equal to 17. For shortest job first scheduling algorithm for preemptive, if we consider process P3, we see that in preemptive process P3 will exist in the system until time interval 3. So 3 minus its burst time 1 and then it is arrival time 2. So 3 minus 1 into minus 2 is equal to 0. So it's interesting. We'll see that we have two process P3 and P5 whose waiting time is 0 in the shortest job first scheduling algorithm for preemptive situation. So in this way you can calculate the waiting time for all other processes in all other CPU scheduling algorithms. Now we'll see the turnaround time. We see the turnaround time is the waiting time plus burst time. You can calculate the waiting time and adding the burst time you can calculate turnaround time. Okay, in the next tutorial we'll see priority scheduling algorithm for preemptive and non-preemptive situation. So until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.